There are conversations that shape how we live, conversations that help us navigate challenges of life, conversations that bring out the best in us. This is where we gather to help each other find the way and unleash our potential. Welcome to the Benjamin Zulu Global.
Psychologist, relationship coach, the one, the only
Benjamin Zulu.
Benjamin Zulu himself. Imagine driving down a road and realizing that you're lost. Nothing looks familiar, but you get to see a sign that tells you your destination is maybe, say, 10 kilometers away. There's an instant relief at that moment. But when you go down another road and maybe see another sign that tells you there's no way through or there's a dead end, and you ignore that sign, you are going to bear the consequences. So today we'll be addressing in the context of marriage, how do you know that your spouse is seeing someone else? Welcome to the Benjamin Zulu Show. My good name is Janik, and would like to go right into it. What are some of the signs and indicators that one should look out for to know that their spouse is actually seeing someone else?
Yeah, so you don't become a witch hunter. You don't start waiting for it to happen.
Yes.
You don't go in there and say, I'm looking. The day I'll find you. Let me tell you. So you don't be at ease. Actually, by the time you choose to marry a person, let it be because they passed all your tests. And if they're going to change, you will deal with it that time. But that now you have seen that they mean business. Before we talk about marriage, let's make sure we are talking about mindful marriage, not emotional entanglements. What many people call marriage is something, feelings. They got themselves involved together. Now they're trying to force the rules of marriage there. Emotional decisions are always disastrous. Because you're driven by something that is not sustainable.
Right.
You're driven by a temporary push. We were not told self-control. It was left as if we are supposed to learn it. Two things they didn't teach you: how to control your feelings and how to think. Thinking is hard work. Most people never think. They would rather die than think. Don't mistake mental activity with thinking. Mental activity of having to turn left, take this food, choose this clothes, do this way. Reactionary living is not thinking. That's just doing the bare minimum to get by. I hope you heard that about 70% of graduates never touch a book after they graduate. Never touch a book. Not touching the sense of physical, but never invest themselves to buy and read a book. And sometimes you come into marriage with the original correct foundation. I heard Miles Monroe, the late, saying he used to read 4 books a month, 1 book every week. And he had 4 journals he was reading. Publications, or the journals or magazines, whatever, publications about business, about current affairs. And he said he was trying to kill ignorance because my people are killed by ignorance. My people perish for lack of knowledge. Why do you get knowledge? By becoming interested. Why is thinking hard? Thinking forces you to lift yourself above the current situation and ask, what if? What will follow after this?
Right.
What will I? One guy called Amnon fell in love with a half-sister. The term used there is love, but the Bible meant lust. And he was so gripped in the loss that he felt physically sick. But he couldn't think. Thinking would have said, what will follow after? What is likely to happen after?
Right.
A crafty cousin gave him a plan to get to sleep with the woman, but he didn't give him a plan for exit. Well, how will you resolve the conflict? It will get known, obviously. What will you? Unbeknownst to him, that grip of lust, and he got so absorbed. His brother would also suffer the same problem, Solomon. The same women whom God had told them not to intermingle with. To these women, Solomon clave in love. Sometimes you cling to the wrong people. You cling to the wrong things until you marry them. And Nehemiah came and lamented, said, did Solomon, who was chosen by God and beloved of his God, made king of Israel, the same Solomon did outlandish women lead astray. People tend to quote the outrageous polygamy of Solomon as if it's approved that the Bible validates. Bible does not. It just records it regrettably. Does not validate it. And when the New Testament came, when God began to dwell among men, he asked for total monopoly. I mean monogamy. Total one man, one woman. That is now the New Testament thing. Previously, there was a lot of this patriarchy. And it was always followed by chaos, that strife between the two families. Because God made them man and woman, not man and women. God did not create Adam with Eve and Sarah and Mary. It was just Adam and Eve. Anytime you leave God's order, you'll have a disorder.
That's true.
We are talking about a marriage that you entered mindfully, thinking, asking, when I look at what I'm seeing, is it worth trusting? And Johnny, it's very hard, very painful to keep repeating something that should be elementary. When you have to introduce basics to people that anytime you're crossing boundaries physically with a person, you are arousing feelings and they will influence your decisions, isn't it? And many people want to just say, oh, it happened. These are decisions we make and they are difficult, but the consequences are so dire that we better struggle to try and maintain our balance. Yeah. Nobody said it's easy, but your own life is not a simple thing. Stakes are very high. So now, assuming you have come the right direction, you have tried your best to do due diligence, and now you're inside the marriage, what are some of the signs that this person may be changing on you? We gave many reasons why people change. We said human beings have a free will given by God, and they can start well and finish badly. Even they start well with God in their spiritual life, and they divert away. So while you're not paranoid about it, you also know it can happen.
Yeah.
So we want to give you what to look out for. And because cheating is a lot of work, it always has signs. It's a violation of the most important covenant you have with another person. And one of the signs that you know this person is departing to be with another and departing from what you had is when they begin to vacate the small fun moments that you had, the two of you. True lovers are friends. They have their time. They enjoy each other's company. They feel the separation anxiety when they're away from each other for too long.
Right.
They long to catch up again. They don't live together because of logistics, because of the child, because of pregnancy, because of being with each other is the most important motivation. And they yearn for that. Despite seasons of ups and downs, genuine lovers long for each other. Getting married does not remove the excitement. It actually begins the journey of joy. Again, when you do the right things according to the Creator, your love grows. But if you get ahead of yourself, you plant guilt, confusion, shame. And sometimes normal problems of life, when they happen, you think it's karma and you feel crushed. When you cheat, you won't know whether now this financial difficulty, which direction is it from? Are we being punished for lying? You won't know. But if you know to the best of your knowledge, you have lived right, you know these are battles of this life.
Yeah.
When the lords of the Philistines stole the Ark of Covenant and they developed boils, men fell sick in their private members, developed boils. It was very terrible. There was a whole chaos, pandemic. They said it was because of this ark of that great God we took. So let's do this. Let's take it back. And if it gets accepted, we'll know now we are okay, we'll get healed. But if it doesn't, we'll know that it's just bad luck fell upon us. Sometimes you look upon your ways and say, this is just bad luck of human being alive. And disease here, struggle there. That's one way I want you to try and have a clean record so that your conscience doesn't condemn you. When you have a self-condemnation, you have a very difficult life.
Yeah.
So we are saying the one thing that you will know this person is moving away is when they don't miss your fun moments. They don't even notice when you're not happy. And it's like they're using every excuse to be busy from those small moments that are nameless but very real to the two of you.
True.
The chemistry and the idiosyncrasies and the playfulness and the vibe between two lovers is unique. Only them know it. And when it's not there, you feel the absence. The way you check in because you missed to hear his voice, her voice, that is something you can't fake. Sigmund Freud told us that human beings can't keep a secret. If they don't say it, their fingers will show it, their body will show it. Something will show it.
Yeah.
When there's a shift in excitement, and you're not talking about 2 days, somebody who's in a bad mood, stressful time. No. You can tell when there's a consistent avoidance. And without waiting for a big cause, you ask them, is everything okay? In many ways, you try to look. And they're still dodgy. That is one of the biggest signs when people are shifting their excitement to someone else.
And you see, most people think it comes with age. Oh, we've been married for 30 years, so now this playfulness has to go down.
No, let me tell you, we should grow old physically, but not internally. Should remain playful, joyous, open to life. You know you are in touch because when you're internet, you see something funny, it's them you throw to. You can't hide. You know the rhythm of your voice head.
Yes.
When you hear a gossip this side, it's them you tell the gossip.
Yes.
Johnny, you know you're married right when you replace your best friends with this one.
That's true. That's very true.
They become, because now, when you are getting married, you had other social lives. The girls used to talk more to this. But at the point you get married, you love each other and you like how they live, you will gravitate to best friends. If you marry a person you're not friends with because of other reasons, I feel like I'm late, this is the best person I can find, oh, I'm running late, other people, I think I will learn to love them. If you justify, you're going to do a false start.
Yeah.
In athletics, in racing, when you do a false start, you're disqualified. When you do a false start when there's no depth of connection, it will never pick. So what happens is when you begin to feel the withdrawal from the happy place we have together, people can remain logistically in place, still performing their roles as wife, performing their logistical part of their duties, but you know something has shifted.
Yeah. And I think also that comes with gut feeling, and intuition, especially for women. I don't know for men, maybe you can help us understand. How do men have intuition?
Yes, they do. We do have
and how
intuition.
does it present itself?
We do have intuition, although men apply a lot of reasoning, a lot of time more than the gut feeling.
Right.
They will refer to how they added 1 + 1 more than how they felt inside.
Right.
So men are less educated in terms of feelings. They have the feelings, they're just not as competent as in touch with them. It takes a lot of evolution for a man to become like David, who could express his feelings and is fully masculine. A lot of men, they shy off from feelings. They suppress them. They don't even have the vocabulary, but they're very comfortable reasoning, asking 1 + 1, adding this and the other one.
Yeah.
They still have intuition, but they don't usually rely on it alone. A man who learns to rely on his intuition and his reasoning, he has superpower. Sometimes facts are not obvious. You just feel. I entered a vehicle and I could feel discomfort with the person seated behind me. I did not look at their face, I just got into the vehicle. But I'm feeling discomfort. A bad feeling, like a bad déjà vu. Like a person you were with and they did you bad. I couldn't wait for us to alight and see. So what was my body reacting to? Sometimes you can't have the facts. You don't have the information.
Yeah.
I don't know who it is. Was it their perfume or just their presence or whatever? You don't have any detail, any name or anything. Just know. only to realize it's a person with dark. Those people gossip, disappear with your money, try to malign your name, you cut them off, move on with your life. But you notice them looking at you by the time you board the vehicle. And you try to, Lord, where did I not see that? You didn't do direct looking, but you sensed. And what is that? If I, as a man now, I'm not in tune with my gut, my nervous system, I'll miss a lot of information. Particularly when you live with a woman who she feels things before she can say them. And you should detect what she's feeling and try to fill gaps. Sometimes it's not mysterious. You can tell when the mood changed. Now, what happened that time? It's not mysterious. You can see what put her down. And since it's not a big violation, but it is still very emotional for her, she can't help but be affected. People can't always be yapping what they felt. They can only feel it. They don't even have the room that you can take it if they complain. Because it may not be a compulsory thing. It may be just the way you always eat together. Just I enjoy how we eat together. Now you ate ahead, I had to eat alone. I can't complain. That sounds petty. But between us,
yes, there's a way it made me feel.
You know? So the man must learn to really listen to feelings.
Right.
When you see them withdrawing from your happy place, it's not because they no longer want to be happy, because they're getting the happiness from another place. As humans, we tend to have that need to feel loved. And by the time a person decides to get married or be loved, it means not everybody needs marriage. Some people decide to live without it. They compensate their energy elsewhere, they find their joy elsewhere. But this person who marries you is that kind of people who need a partner. And if it's not you who is the partner energetically anymore, it's not you they're getting it from, it's a place they're getting it from. The second sign is when they start to starve you of communication. When they start to, communication like emotional food. Touching base to update each other and comfort each other and reassure each other and just reconnect again. It feels like a fresh air, energy. Somebody to make you laugh. And just reassure, you just feel that's how you breathe. That's how you breathe life back into your connection, to your affection, to your love. When a person begins to refuse to give you that, the communication becomes dry and short and logistical, and they know they're depriving you of something you need. And they act like nothing is wrong, but they're not there anymore. So that's one way of depriving. The other one is when they exclude you from updates about their life, that aspect of life that you are the one handling. Let's say you are to do some financial decisions or job or some updates with friends or some investments you're doing, and then you keep me in the dark. I thought we were a team. I thought we were working things together. Now you begin to leave me in the dark. Usually what this means is also another implication that they have started getting their mental bounce off from someone else. When people stop you being the main person they discuss with, they usually discuss with someone else.
Right.
Do you see how life is? There's no vacuum. When you remove one person, you must put another one. That's how something that starts small must be solved quickly in marriage. It can spiral out of control within no time.
That's true.
Those 2 days we were not talking, was I busting? I need to talk to someone. I will talk to someone. Do you get the double-edged sword?
Yes.
You will see me, I won't tell you anything. As you punish me, you're also punishing yourself. You will find yourself now talking more to colleague, updating, because you are itching. You needed to talk that out. And because you're not talking to me, the colleague becomes the nearest, because humanly you need to express.
That's right.
Can we agree that expression is a basic need? That's why isolation is the worst punishment. They deny you anybody to talk to express your feelings to bounce off ideas with, to connect to. So anytime you are throwing into the isolation chamber, you too are isolating yourself, and you'll end up entertaining someone between me and you. So even when we reconcile, what you started this person can still continue building. That's People true. Can tell you they cheated with somebody who they opened doors to at the time they were not talking to their partner.
That's true. Actually, in most cases, that's how it is.
They vented. explain to me, it's frustrating, imagine. So you invite a person to comfort you. After you reconcile with your person, how will you tell the comforter, now go out? The one I was angry with
is back.
Do you see the trap?
Yeah, yeah.
It's some of the things that make us trip are in the broad daylight. Let me also surprise you that men who go too far, as far as insulting their wives to cheat with the maid, it starts there. Your staff have a lot of problems in life. They're just humans like you.
Yeah.
If they don't have a partner, they always want a friend they can pour out to. You only need to tell that driver or that whoever to be available for them to pour out, to throw in and you comfort, and today, tomorrow they start the story. Before you know it, you'll have become the confidant. The one who advises them this. And people, I told you the other day, you'll know you become the go-to woman when people are coming to you to crack hard questions of life.
Yeah.
What you advise me is what I will do. And the decisions are so life-changing. And they say, your what? Is what I'll go with. Should I take this job in Europe or should I stay in Kenya? The moment you ratify one direction, you can end up drifting away because you excluded me from that place we usually to build together. We used to build together. Now you start involving your mother. You tell us how much she gets an update of everything we're working on. After we reconcile, she still knows where we are and she's doing follow-up. And she was invited by you.
Yeah, yeah.
Well-meaning relatives, well-meaning friends can ruin your marriage when you invite them too close. When he said, you shall leave your father and mother and cleave to your wife's husband, become one flesh. He meant that. Sometimes it's that other flesh that you comfort that becomes unavailable too. So when you comfort a person who has nothing else to repay you back with, that you helped me, thank you so much. How else to say thank you other than some sexual favors?
Yeah.
Careful now. This is why people who are married, another one, they're cheating. You're wondering, is this a demon? You have your partner, this one has theirs. It's that door you opened and it created a dynamic of indebtedness. I owe you one. You owe me one, so you owe me one. How do you pay back? Careful before you get people to, you owe people one.
Yeah.
So I don't want you to take your stress to that innocent Peter colleague until you owe him
one. It's interesting because as you're speaking, I'm like, all these things are almost self-made. Like they're things we create for ourselves.
Yes.
No one has put them there for us, but we just walk into them.
You know.
Yeah.
You're in a fix and he unfixes you. Finally, it can even be he lies on your behalf to the boss. It can be a mysterious favor. Now you
owe them one. It's really wow, quite something.
You know?
Yeah.
When you remove me from that place of importance, somebody else must occupy it. You meet obnoxious, annoying people who do you injustice. Usually vent to your partner, but you have given me one week of isolation. Who do you pour out the frustration to? Your brother, I want that to hear that nonsense saying, no, you, Johnny, we finished that. We said, please grow up. You know, sometimes your siblings can be savage.
Yeah.
Siblings are just siblings. Yeah, they can be available, but sometimes they also say, I don't have my problem. God help your partner.
Yeah.
You are very vulnerable. We don't start affairs always thinking about sex. We don't open doors to strangers always thinking about cheating. We don't always think it that way, but we start a dynamic that creates indebtedness, creates vulnerability. Let's say in the conversations you happen to mention by a slip of the tongue that for the last 1 month, what have you invited?
Yes.
You know,
It's a very suggestive statement.
you know,
Yeah.
How will you undo that knowledge?
Wow.
That can change tonight. Will you come tomorrow and tell them, sorry, the one man has cancer?
I take back my words.
That's why the partner is leaving you at a place. And remember, I can abandon you and cause you to wobble when you did not even intend. Because when you have given me the monopoly of being the one to converse, you know, life is like, I like to take it like two scouts. Two scouts, we are journeying through a forest and our aim is to get to the other side safely. Our home is over there. This one is a journey.
Yeah.
It's us to talk, to encourage each other, to inspire each other. When you go silent on me, who do I talk to? You have monopoly.
And I love how you've put it, because I believe this is bringing a lot of self-awareness to us, that there's some things that are in our control that we need to make sure that we put our foot on the ground so that things don't go out of hand. And let's talk about patterns a little, because you find that you know your pattern, your spouse's patterns. For example, when it comes to speech, when it comes to the things they do, when you notice a shift in these patterns, could that also be an indicator that they're seeing someone else?
Yes, you can call it out. Now, let's conclude today's signs. I've not given you the red flags. I've given you the smoke alarms. The signs I've given you today are not conclusive. They are suggestive. Again, cheating is a lot of work. You need to look for a cheating partner. The way you date for healthy people, you also need to... Not everybody is available for illicit business. This is like black business.
Yes.
You really into black market. You need to go into hiding, look for another criminal to form a gang.
Yes.
So sometimes your partner is at that searching stage. And if you get their communication, you can see how they're opening, they're knocking. Are you available for illicit things? Are you available for illicit things? What people like to say, we are just flirting, they're knocking doors. The moment the door opens, my friend, and then they get the perfect connection. Some people are just available for a fling, but they are delicate, like a grenade. You know, some people are delicate like an egg, others are delicate like a grenade. The egg might break, but the grenade will blow you up.
Yeah.
So some people are a grenade. They know this one will blow me up. They run. Another one is an egg. They're too dependent. So the perfect cheating partner is always the one who is not delicate. They won't blow you up, neither will they collapse. They almost have their life going on. You meet for a mischievous spicing up to enjoy the diabolical, demonic pleasure of hurting other people, the people you have shown loyalty to, and risking your entire life for a few minutes of heavy breathing. And a lot of mental effort at keeping it secret. You know, when you're cheating with people and the messages come in, can you enjoy your peace? The fact that now you don't bother with your phone too much, that it can ring when you're in the kitchen, you're asking your husband to check for you.
Yes.
My friend, you think that's a simple thing? Cheaters don't know that freedom. Cheaters cannot do that.
Yes.
They cannot let, many people may have also two phones, one for work, one for... And the fact that you don't know which one, where it is, and you've lain asleep and napped, can you thank God for that freedom? That your car, you don't see the phone where it's in the car and you're not getting a panic attack. Cheaters must get a panic attack.
Yes, very true.
When they don't know, where's my phone? Who has it? Go ring it. Stop the car. Lift the car. Can you overturn the car, my friend? Because does somebody have it? You can see people are already searching. Because you send messages and the other cheater does not reply immediately. And the window when you are alone lapses, and they might reply when you've already gone back to people. You get the problem of cheating communication?
Yes.
It requires to be exact. But the other cheating fella is not cooperating very well.
With my available time.
Yes. You waited for them to text back. You are taking too long, getting suspicious. You need to go back, but you already sent the message.
Yeah.
So you must hold to your phone and look suspicious, try to smile plastic. So it's to say, you can see when they have opened the door. What you shall do is, you may not up and leave. the best reason is to start your investigations, and the worst part is you may not catch them until they have materialized, gotten someone. So it may require you to watch, lie low, act like you don't see a lot, look the other way, so that the seeding can mature. Before it matures, it remains an intention, openness, and all that. Will you wait until they bring you diseases? No. You may not wait until they give all the money from the family. You may not wait until, because people get obsessed by affairs and they can actually move away to kill you. They can move their job to just go cheat. It's very obsessive. They can be on air every day. You can get your wife who's now having trips every weekend. It's a trip, work trip, work trip, work trip.
Yeah.
There is no perfect crime. People will leave the phone there and the message will pop on the screen. They will go to the bathroom and it rings and they come out with soap all over. You'll ask them whether
Panic attack.
you know.
Yeah.
So when you see these two signs, start silent investigations and set your net and wait. Yes.
Wow, very well said. Wow, I love it. And there's an interesting read in this wonderful book, Toxic Relationships, How to Recognize and Deal with Toxic Relationships. And it's called Ghost Lovers. Just because of time, we may not be able to go through it, but please make yourself an order. Order this book, How to Recognize and Deal with Toxic Relationships, and get to engage with it via www.benjaminzuluglobal.com. Till next time, goodbye.
There are conversations that shape how we live. Conversations that help us navigate challenges of life. Conversations that bring out the best in us. This is where we gather to help each other find the way and unleash our potential.